This barrier will never act as a symbol of freedom stolen, but serve as a sign of liberation from the repulsive communist, the Soviet Union.
It feels good, doesn't it, Nadette, to know that the Berlin Wall's demise is in uniform to the demolishment of the Soviet Union, our former restrainers.
I salute the one who saved the world from the reign of the once communist Union. Ada, I tell you, I praise that human, and may it be recognized that it was Margaret Thatcher and her alliance with President Reagan.
Yes, Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady, led the world away from communism by fighting and ultimately ending the Cold War. Her alliance with President Reagan was effective, for together they unveiled the Soviet Union, leading to a legacy of her being the great communicator of the Cold War.
November 9th, 1989. Remember, Ada, today our freedom was restored. A beautiful thing. Oh, how long I desired this, and now it's a reality. I credit it all to Lady Thatcher.
I agree, my friend. For without Lady Thatcher, we would have never been unbounded from the chains of communism.
Oh, but Lady Thatcher has done much more. She is a woman who shall leave a legacy that will liberate others, just as we have been.
It's like I can breathe more freely, more openly. Oh, but we survived. We survived, and now we can do anything. Go anywhere.
I know where I'm going. I'm going to Great Britain to learn more of the demolisher of the Cold War, Lady Thatcher.
Me too. The Iron Lady is the leader to communicate the message of anti-communism. And so I know that we will fit right into her land.
Come, let's go. Let's use our freedom well. Let's follow the great leader, Margaret Thatcher.
Now let's get down to business. Yes, you there. Are you suggesting we back out of the Cold War and let the Soviets take over? It is 1985. England shall no longer be bullied by these repugnant communists. So no, sir, no. We won't be maintaining these anti-free market Soviets, but rather obliterating them. My leadership has always been effective, so if you please leave those unpatriotic remarks to yourself.
Lady, you know they have the SS-20. Britain hasn't any ability to match their nuclear weaponry. We are quite outdated and outpriced.
Please screen yourself, madam. I hope you aren't questioning my leading abilities. President Reagan has been an extraordinary ally. A defense system known as Trident II is already in motion, and Reagan has gave us a fetching price on it, only £9 billion.
Oh yes, wondrous leadership. But how long will this puissance you have over him last? It is vital for there to be an end soon, if there ever will be in this interminable war.
Ah, and there, by George, you got it. Last December, back in '84, I met with the now General Secretary, Mikhail Gorbachev, which you may have heard is a man I can do business with. He has a view that is somewhat similar to my own, which deems itself to be the opening to ending the war.
You have been a bold leader in the past, recapturing the Falklands in 1982, privatizing the majority of Great Britain's industry, and reviving the alliance with the Americans. But allying with a communist to persuade him to lead his union into the ground?
It isn't quite as you put it. Gorbachev and I share many views on the INF, arm control, and economics. I know I don't have to persuade this man to do anything. It is he who wishes to resolve the Soviet issues, so to move to a brighter future.
A daring move, nonetheless. A move, in fact, defying part of Great Britain. Do you hear me, ladies and gentlemen? I found out that the Foreign Office desires Lady Thatcher to try to live with the Soviets, rather risk Britain in an attempt to destroy them. She isn't going to compromise, and she might not be as successful as when she sent a 27,000 task force to the Falklands.
My response is simple. I don't waver from my beliefs. I know communism is wrong, for it suppresses the people's liberties and bans the free markets. My father once told me, Margaret, Never do things or want to do things because other people do them. Make up your own mind about what you're going to do and persuade people to go your way. As leader of this fine land, I say the Foreign Office does not control my decisions.
Prime Minister Thatcher, why don't we just let the Americans resolve the problem? That president over there seems rather enthusiastic about exposing the Soviets.
Madam, I'm not budging from my place. I agree with Mr. Reagan, and I will see the Berlin Wall fall.
I will give you this, lady. You are not a hypocrite. Your actions here in Britain of denationalizing business and lowering taxes, resolving inflation, have all mirrored your belief in anti-communism. But it is risky to pursue this war. You are balancing on a thin thread, lady, communicating with those superpowers.
I know what I want. I will do anything I can to achieve it. Take on whatever nickname those blundering Soviets give, whether it continue to be Iron Lady, hard and cold, or something else entirely. I'm a leader, unafraid and ready. A leader that will see the wall fall and know it was because I took action. Meeting adjourned.
Today, April 17th, 2013, I stand before you all with a heavy heart. One of the world's most influential leaders and my grandmother has sadly passed away. I know that to many of you she was a friend or colleague or boss, but to the rest of the world, she was a leader, and her leadership has left a legacy that will live on for generations to come. Margaret Thatcher is a symbol for all women. I've had the privilege to talk to Miss Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who told me that it was Thatcher who gave her the courage to become the first woman president of Liberia. And she will keep inspiring girls all across the world to believe in what they can achieve. Let us not forget all the good she has done. She has given freedom from the Soviet Union, and her legacy will keep pushing the world away from communism. With organizations such as the American Heritage Foundation and the Margaret Thatcher Foundation, her ideals will never truly die. There are people across all nations who still believe in her and will continue to spread those ideas, just as I will. I will never forget my grandmother, and neither will the world. Thank you. I now invite Prime Minister Cameron to the stand.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Amanda, for getting us started. I would like to begin by saying that without Lady Thatcher, England could have fallen. She was able to pick England back up at one of its lowest points in history and return it to its former glory. The Conservative Party has been forever shaped because of Lady Thatcher's example, and her ideals are still used today in our decisions. Not only has the Conservative Party been shaped, though, but she, as Amanda previously mentioned, has led the world away from communism. She really was able to use her relations with the United States and Gorbachev to achieve great things in the Cold War. Our country has never been as close to America as it has since Thatcher. We have a special relationship that keeps the whole world running. And with Thatcher, she had an amazing relationship with President Reagan that allowed for the Soviet Union to be disbanded and the Berlin Wall to fall. Her uncompromising leadership and strong alliances with the United States and Gorbachev allows the world to recognize her today as the great communicator of the Cold War. Thank you, Lady Thatcher. Thank you for what you've done for Britain, for the world, for history. This concludes our live performance. Is there any questions?